Hello guys, how are you? How's it going? So let's start. So last lecture, I don't know, I should share my screen. Yeah. So last lecture, we sketch the typical plans of two floors, right? So here I was explaining about um, detailing columns on something. So today we will sketch the elevation of the building or the front and side view. So, like we did in the midterm, we sketch a front side view. Here, for the building, also, we want to draw the front view of the building, like you are looking from here. So, what you can see, and right side view for the same building. So, these are two floors. If we see this three building, uh, so we have this 3D building. We sketch the top view, right? So we had drawn the top view for the first two floors. So this is the top view, for example, for the first floor. This is for the second, right? So we did that. This is for the first floor, and this is for the second floor. Now, what we will do is to draw the front view. So if we go to this front view here, what you can see in the first, this floor and this floor, you can see that all columns that appear in when you are looking this way, you will sketch all the columns. For example, we can see this column and this column and this column, all columns and walls and beams also that are visible in this view. You will draw them for, as the length of their size. يعني here we have the size of our columns is 30 by 30. So this dimension size is 30. So we will sketch, if we are looking this way, so you will sketch 30 as the width of the column, but here the column is 100 by 50. So this side of the column is 100 centimeters. Also this column, and you will see the thickness of the slab. It will be visible. So if we go to the front view, you can see this slab has the thickness of 30 centimeters, so it is visible here. Also this slab is, because it has a cantilever from here, so it is visible, as you can see, as a rectangle, also 30 centimeters the thickness. So what about beams? This beam, for example, has thickness of 60. So from here to here is 60. I told you that this 50 is the depth or the thickness of the beam. So now in the front view, this 50 will be visible. Okay, so here 30 is the width and 50 is the depth. Here is 50 is the width. So 50 is from here to here. But 60 is from here to here. So yeah, so if we have now here, you can see that all beams from the first one to the last one has the same size. So if you look here, you will only see the first one because all beams behind it the same has the same size. So you will not see them. But if, for example, if you have this beam bigger than, let's make it bigger, um, here 700. What happened? Oh, processing. I just changed the dimensions. Why? Maybe because this project. Okay, is it changed now? Forget about it. So, for those who just came, I want to draw today the front view and the side view for this two floors building. So when first drawing the front view, I will be looking here, right? So this is the first floor and this is the second floor. So what will appear? This column will appear, this and this and this, right? And the beams, those beams will be appearing, and these slabs, this and this. Now all, and this of course, because there's nothing, so you can see this column and you can see this beam. Now all beams behind has the same size, so it will not appear. But if, for example, you have this beam has a depth of 60, so 10 centimeters will appear from here to here. So you should يعني, be careful about all things behind. You can see this 10 centimeters uh, from above, so the thickness is increased from top of the beams, not from the bottom. So you can see these 10 centimeters for the beam behind this beam. So the view will be different if all these beams has different size or depth. Same for the second floor. So what we have here, we have this column, this wall. Now in our project we don't have walls. So this column also, column, the same for columns. If you have this column bigger than this, and I think this is bigger, this is 120 centimeters and this is 100. So in the front view, you can see this column that is behind this column. So the rest of the dimension size will appear in the front view, as you can see. Also this wall, this column, all things that is appearing in when you are looking to this side of the building, you should sketch it. Now, of course, you can see these stairs. It will not appear if you are looking. So what you will do, you will sketch a section, right? So you want to draw the stairs. So you will, as we did in the midterm, the same. But this is for a building. You will cut the building from this cut line, and you will sketch the section so you can see the stairs. So I think you understand the concept of what we are doing. So we are just looking this way and sketch every column, beam, and slab that is appearing from here. And for the behind uh, ones, if it's bigger, if it will appear, you will sketch it. If it will not, you will not sketch it. Okay. So let's start. So did you understand the concept before I began to start sketching here in AutoCAD? Do you understand the concept? What we are doing, we are sketching now the front view for these. So this is the first floor, this is second floor. So one front view you have. So this is the first floor, this is the second floor. You will have one front view for both. So this is will be elevation 0, elevation 3, elevation 6 according to story height. So understood, right? Okay. Now, if you want to sketch these, now you will want reference lines for these columns to make it easier on AutoCAD. So what you will do to create a new layer, remember that from here, layer properties, and creating a new layer, this one. So where is the new layer? This one. Let's name it reference lines. So now there are type of lines that if you type on the keyboard XL, this X line, create a line of infinite length. So on the whole drawing, that means now if you want it horizontal or vertical, now we want the reference lines to be vertical because we are drawing the front view. So vertical. Now what is the first point of the front view will appear? This point, right? So you will click here. So now you have X line that is has infinite length. You can see it will not end this line. Why? Because I just want to reference for this line. Now later you will delete these lines, okay? But for now you will to help you identify where is the starting point of this column, where is the end point. So again, XL, enter, vertical. Now this is the end of the column, the starting and the ending points. Okay, the starting and the ending points of the first columns that will appear. Now this column has these all four columns will appear. This column has no columns. This column has these columns. Now, if you are looking now, there is no walls that will make this column disappear. So look now, if you have this type, right? Now here, imagine that these columns and these columns are these 1, 2. Okay. Now we have a column in the last row here that is in between these columns. So if we have a column here, even if it's in the last row, yes, Ibrahim, to indicate the starting points of. Now you will understand why I'm doing this. Now, if we have a column here, it will appear even if it's in the last row, right? So here, if we are looking in the front view as I am looking now, and we sketch the columns that are in the first row, but you have this column only, and there is no columns in front of it that will make it invisible. So you should sketch it, these columns. Why? Because if we draw now a column here in the last row, it will appear here, right? So this column will appear because these beams will not make it invisible, and there's no walls here, so it will be visible in the section, sorry, front view. Now the last one is this one, right? Like this. So now every two lines has a column in between. You see, this is a column, this is a column. Now you will start, create a new layer, name it front view. Okay, and choose yellow, for example. Double click. Now let's start. Now you want an intersection point, so it's not appearing. So what you will do, nearest point. So I wasn't able to snap this line because this is has infinite length. So I enabled the nearest point snap object snap. Okay. So again, I will draw a line wherever you want. Like, let's make it here, from here to here. Okay. So this line is the starting line for your uh, front view. So let's say that this is the ground floor, 0. Okay. Now you will sketch the columns up upon this line. Like, this is 0. Now you will sketch from 0 to 3. Okay. So from 0 to 3, you have a columns from the ground floor to the first floor. Now you can sketch it on columns, or you can uh, keep it on the front view. It doesn't matter. Now line from, or you can first offset. offset this line by 300. Why 300? Because between the ground floor and the first floor, as you can see here, plus 3. This 3 in meters, but we are sketching in centimeters, so 300. Okay, so now from this to this you have the columns, right? So you are just drawing lines here, so you can see how these lines is helpful. You are just drawing the columns, or you can now copy this from here to here, easier, right? Now you have sketched the columns, easy, right? Any question until now? You understand me, like I'm sketching these columns. Now I've drawn the line that is in the ground floor and the line that is in the first floor. Okay, and I'm placing the columns in their places, like here, 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, now this beam is diagonal, but it will appear in the uh, front view as like this, as a rectangle, right? So the starting point is from column to column, and the depth is 50, right? So what you will do from here to here, this beam, and depth of 50. So you'll draw a line from here to here and move it from here, and you can say 50, like this. So this is, you can see, 50, the depth of the beam. Now these lines in between, you can trim them later, okay? Because these lines like this, okay? So you will have like this shape, okay? Because pouring concrete inside, so beams and columns are with each other, not separately when you are pouring, okay? Now same, you can, because you have all beams are the same uh, depth, so you have from here to here also 50, from here to here 50, and from here to here also this beam will appear, right? So this beam will appear also because you are looking here, there's nothing, space. Now the first object you will see is this beam, also 50. So this line will be from here to here, right? Now this slab is 20. So let's see here. Here you have slab, right? Here we have a slab. This how is 30, but the beam depth is greater than the slab depth. So when you are looking in front view, you will not see the slab. Why? Because the beam, because it's behind the beam. You understand? So we have a slab here, but it's not visible in the front view because its depth is less than the beam depth. So it's behind. So all slabs will not appear in the front view, these slabs, right? Only the slabs that are cantilever, like this one. So there is no beam here. It's cantilever beam. Sorry, it's cantilever slab. So it will appear in the front view like this. Okay. So this slab appeared, but the the others will not appear. Why? Because the beams because they are behind the beams. Now we sketch the columns. We sketch the beams and the slabs. uh, Now it's 50 greater than 20, so it will not appear, right? Now what is left? You will see there's no beams that are greater than 50, so no beams will appear. Also no slabs will appear, so no, you are done. Why you are done? Because this is the front view of the first floor only, right? So the first floor only, you have this type of elevation. So you will start by trimming these points like this, right? I'm just trimming. Now if you want to see, you can make it this height. So this is your front view of your first floor. This column with these beams, column beams. Now you have to be aware of this point. Now remember this column, right? This column and this beam. So sorry, this beam. So this, where is this column? This one, right? So this column is behind this beam, right? Because this beam, I'm sketching this beam. So this column is not the intersection point of this beam. So here it's wrong. It should be like this, right? You understand? Because this column is behind these all columns. So this beam will be closed, okay? Like this. Also this one. This column is this one, but this beam is this one. So it will be like this also, right? Or here, yeah, it will be like this. Because also we have this beam. You understand? So let's start. If we started from here, you have this column with this beam, so it will be opened. Then you have this column now that is visible to you. So it will be closed. This column I explained why, because it's here. Then this beam is right. So Now the second floor, what we will do, we know that we decrease these dimensions, right? It's 25 by 25 now. Now this column will not continue by 30, it will decrease. So what you can do, you can move this from here to here, okay, and move this a little bit down. Now this starting point is the same, okay, but this ending point is not the same. So you may move this or create a new one. You can move this from here to here, from here to here. Also for this one. Now for all these three, the left side is the same. So you have the left side the same. It's clear here. But here it moves from here to here. Also here. This one. So now it's clear that you have smaller columns in the second floor. So now you will offset this again. Offset 300, right? Because now from 300, from 3 to 6, again 300. Now you may do like this, but here it's like this, or you can copy like this. Now this is your columns. Now beams are the same width, right? 50 also, depth, sorry. So depth is the same. So you will have, you can copy like this. No, because here is different. You can do like this one. Move from here 50 like this. Then trim. So these is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this beam will be pulled together. So 1, 2, 3. No, and this beam also will be pulled together, but here it will end. This beam will end here. This beam will end here, and this beam. So it should be like this. sorry. Should be like this, because now what we said about this column is right. This column is here, so this beam is in front of it, so it will, this beam will appear and this beam is behind. But here, this column, now this beam is for 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, together, the same beam, right? So it will be open to the same columns. But for this beam, it's for this column, okay, but it will not continue here, okay? So it will be like we have a line here that is between this column and this beam. You understand? So you will imagine, and you always can, if somebody wants to install Revit, and I can give you uh, this project if you want to just imagine how it works. So you always can go to the 3D model and see, okay, if we have this beam and this column and we have the front view, how it will be visible, how if we have lines here, you can see now between this beam and this column we don't have lines, okay, because the same in the same sorry, line, in the same grid line, okay. So if this is A, so this column and this beam in the same grid line, but this column and this beam are not the same. But if you go to the front, you will not differentiate between them. So you have lines between. You can see this column and this beam, you have a line. So it will be like this, okay. Now this, now this is not a section, right? We are not sectioning here, we are just viewing, so no need for hatching, okay. You can like hatch a solid color, something concrete like this. Now here below this point is the foundation, okay. We may not, I don't know, maybe next lecture, maybe there is no next lecture, I don't know, but foundation will be in the bottom here. But now as you are adding floors, if the same floors, you can see that all floors here are the same except the first one. So you are just adding floors, the same idea, understand? Now here are columns and beams, and slabs are behind the beams, okay. Now in sections we will understand how these slabs will appear, because if you are cutting through this point or this line, you will see the column and the slab also. So we will learn this. Now what we want to draw the side view, okay. So now this reference lines you may delete, and now let's draw the reference line of XL, enter. Now horizontal lines, why? Because we are sketching now the right side view, you understand? Now I want to draw on this layer, XL, enter, horizontal. So you are looking from this way, what you will see, let's go to here. Now we have looked on the front view. Now on the side view, like this, same concept, but in different direction. Okay, so you will see this column and this column because there's nothing here to hide. This column also, this column and this column you will see, and this column. So here you have more columns. So let's start. XL enter horizontal. This column, right, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Now you have the choice. If you can understand inside your brain how to sketch these like this, you can, or you can rotate. Now let's leave this here. You can rotate. Yes, I don't know. if you I turned off the mic by mistake. I don't know for how long, but okay. Now I was saying that for here we want to sketch this here, but like this line and these are the flows from here to here. If you can imagine it, do it. If you can't, you can select all these and rotate and rotate. Okay, like this. How I rotated? I pressed this F8 to make the rotation easier. Okay, so let me repeat. It was like this. Okay, I want to rotate it to make it the same concept as this one. So you are sketching right side view, but you will rotate the drawing. Then after finishing, you will bring it back. So you will select all this and rotate. I'm selecting these to make it the ortho mode. So I will click here, do it like this. Okay. So now the same concept. You will have this column, this, and this one, and this one, and this one. Now let's start by. So this is the first floor, right? Okay, this is the first floor. You will. I will go to the, or you can create a side view. Double click, color, make it also yellow. So line from here to here. Then offset from here 300. Again you can 300 from now. Then okay, let's draw the lines first for these. Now you understand what I'm doing. I'm just placing the columns here. Okay, now let's see. Now we are looking this way. So this is the first column, beam, beam, beam. No, now we have, okay, now this column should be closed. Let's first draw the columns, the beams, sorry. Now you can offset this one 50, then you will say, okay, which column should be closed and which column should be opened. Okay, so the second one should be closed, the third and the fourth not. So trim this one should be like this. Now 1 2 3 4. Now the fifth also will be closed, so will be closed, right? Yeah, this will be open like this. You understand? Let's do this to understand. Now the same idea, we have this 1 2 3 4 columns are in the same uh, plan. You understand me? So 1 2 3 4 has the same continuous beam, I mean. So this continuous beam, for columns it will be in the same pouring of concrete. Okay, 1 2 3 4. But this one and this one, they are in the behind, so this column will be closed, right? And which and this one. So now we sketched the column and this one also. We have this beam. Now we have something. No, it will not appear. It's like this. I was thinking of this beam if it will appear, but because the columns appeared here, so the same depth from here to here also. So from here to here there is beam but behind, so it will not appear. So you understood, right? Okay. Uh, Now if we go back to these lines and we place this from the first column, that is this one. Okay, now as we did, I will move these and here move. Okay, no, it's wrong. Okay, now you can see. Okay, copy. No, the same concept. Offset 50. Okay, you hide this. So the same, trim, enter, you can do like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hatch. Now you can move this. Okay, then bring back this. No, like this. Then this one you will rotate like this. So you will delete this now. Bring this here. Bring this here. Bring this here. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and this. Now let's name them. This is front. Or you can finish it first, then rotate it. Okay, so this is elevation view. Now what is missing? You should refer to the elevation. So like for example like this, and you can make maybe the same, this one you can copy it or make another one like this. Did you see what I wrote? This is for the angle. Okay, so I want to draw an arrow. Okay, I will draw a line from here. Then you can see this angle 45 now. If you cannot uh, do it, you can in the keyboard press this symbol greater than, or I don't know, like angle 45, so it will be 45 only. Then you can make this, you can mirror it, MI for mirror, like this. Erase source objects, not don't erase. Now you have this kind of symbol. Then you can copy this one. Then you can copy all these. No, this is not 3. This is 0. This is 3. This is 6. Right? And you may also draw dimensions the same. Here there is no need for dimensions because you already refer to it as elevation. Now you can also copy these, rotate F8 like this, then move like this, right? And these copy, yes, from this column like this. Okay, now here, for now, without foundation, we finished the front elevation view. So if now you can see that we have this elevation, but for, I don't know, 16, no, 10-story building. Here are, this is the foundation slab, these are the ground floor, garage, and floors. You can see, and we have walls here, but here we don't have walls. Foundation still we didn't learn it, so it's the same columns, beams, and slabs for the view, and for this view also the same. Okay, but be careful about these lines. Okay, these lines indicate that this is not continuous. Okay, this beam doesn't refer to this beam, but this column will be continuous with this beam. Okay, the same as this one. And for these elevation uh, symbols, you can make like this. Okay, any questions? I want to ask you, did any course that determine his final exam? When? When do you have final exams? Because I want to determine for your project, physics 6th of the June. So maybe, huh. So you don't have time for next lecture, I think. So maybe this is the last lecture. I don't know. I'm thinking about, like, don't give the foundation to make it easier for you and to make the project easier, because there's no time for you. So you can, if I announce the project next week, you will have 2 weeks, so you will study and work. So I'm thinking of not giving the foundation to make it more easier. Or yes, no foundation, but maybe one section, like one lecture next week about the section. So if we make a section inside the this structure, what will happen? What do you think? You want section or no? I think we, like, we can have lecture next week. Eid. So happy Eid, Ibrahim. Uh, okay, I will inform you. So you have on 26 exam. So maybe next week, may, some of you will have exams next week, and you will study for the next week also. The sorry. Okay, I will think of it. Maybe I will record a video on YouTube and upload it for the sections for your time. And the project, maybe I will announce it next week and you will have 2 weeks, for example. Okay, easy one. So if no questions, let's end for today. If you have questions about this, ask me. Astaghfirullah. And by the way, when I will announce the final exam or for the final project, if you have any questions during your work, ask me, don't hesitate. Yani, I will answer you. If you have some problems with the drawings, if you didn't understand, ask me. Because in the midterms, some of you did something wrong and they didn't even ask me about it. So you can ask me whenever you want. Even I will be late by the response, but I will answer, hopefully. And for the makeup projects, I will correct them this weekend, hopefully. So good luck for your exams and projects, and see you soon. I don't know when. And happy Eid for everyone. Eid Mubarak also. Hadi.